We are getting closer to July 11th, which is the release date of Clipse's new album, Let God Sort 'Em Out. And in the last video, we talked about the first single, Ace Trumpets, but now there's a lot more to talk about. We have a new single that is doing really well, and we have the whole situation with Travis Scott and the beef between Pusha T and him, and also new snippets that I'm going to play for you. So let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. You can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So as we talked about in the last video, I'm really excited for this record. This could be one of the best hip-hop records of this year. Ace Trumpets was amazing so far, and the second single that they now dropped with the music video as well, which is called So Be It, is outperforming Ace Trumpets, at least to this point. It's, going crazy on YouTube. I wasn't expecting this either. This is probably a really good just starting point for the rest of the record. I'm not sure if they have more singles to come out until the record drops in now a little over 2 weeks, but this at least makes you very excited for it. So this new single was great. Now what this new single also started was some beef between Pusha T and Travis Scott, which is kind of weird, and it immediately makes you question if Push is doing this for publicity because the album is coming out, if he would have just done this as well if there wasn't a new Clipse record. We will never know, but at least in an interview with GQ, he said that he felt disrespected when Travis played Utopia for him and Pharrell, and he left out Drake's verse on Meltdown where he dissed Pharrell. He said, "We were in Paris, literally working, and he was calling to play P, his new album. He came to Pharrell's studio at Louis Vuitton headquarters, where Clipse recorded most of Let God Sort 'Em Out." This is what we knew about the record as well. It was recorded at the Louis Vuitton headquarters in Paris. He interrupted a session. He sees me and Malice there. He's like, "Oh man, everybody's here." He's smiling, laughing, and jumping around, doing his fucking monkey dance. That's crazy, man. We weren't into music, but he wanted to play it, wanted to film us and Pharrell listening to it. And then a week later, you hear Meltdown, which he didn't play. He played the song, but not Drake's verse, which is obviously in which Drake disses Pharrell. And then he says he don't have no picks nor loyalty to nobody. He's a whore. He's a whore. It's the principle of what I'm saying, that filthy quality that they have about themselves, that lack of loyalty. Travis really has that. He's proven. Now, this also refers to his relationship to Kanye, which is kind of ironic because Pusha is also now going against Kanye publicly, saying that he's not a man to him, stuff like that. So it's all kind of contradicting itself. It really seems a little unnecessary. And we also know that Drake sent in his verse for Meltdown just maybe the night before or just a couple of days before Utopia dropped. So at that point in time, Travis probably didn't even have Drake's verse yet. So it all just kind of falls apart in itself, what Push is saying here. And then he kind of doubled back down on this. This was on Apple Music with Ebro. He said, "I don't like rappers who don't rap. I don't want to hear that. Stay out of rappers' business, you specifically." Now, this is obviously referring to Drake directly. Now, again, kind of doubling down on what he said about Kanye. He says there is no heartbreak outside of music where nothing, his principles, his morals, his mindset, we don't see eye to eye. If you're a man, you don't gotta flip-flop, kiss ass, and backbite. So that is what he had to say about Ye. So as you can tell, it's all really complicated. In the end, it's really not that important though. One more info that I wanted to play you before we also get into the snippets that we've gotten is actually the reason why he had this whole big drama of having to switch labels to publish the record. Because as you might remember in the last video, he paid 7 figures to get out of his deal with Def Jam and go on to search for a new publisher. It ended up being Roc Nation with Jay-Z, because Def Jam didn't let him have a Kendrick verse on there. And we also have a snippet of that Kendrick verse, or at least what could be the Kendrick verse, which you can take a listen to here.
I sent your ass back to the cosmics. The things I seen under my eyelids. Kaleidoscope dreams, murder and sirens. Let's be clear, hip-hop died again. Half of my profits may go to Rakim. How many Jordans that let me down? Well, fuck it, the West minds me right now. Therapy showed me how to open up. It all
And obviously this was the reason all of this fell apart, and it makes you, kind of expect like a really great verse. A lot of fans weren't as happy with that Kendrick verse, saying that Kendrick fell off or some crazy things like that. I don't think that that's the full verse. I think there's more to come. But interestingly, in the New York Times Popcast, which is their music podcast, I guess, he went on to explain that the reason that Kendrick was initially blocked on the Clipse album was because of a Trump lyric. And he says he believes the real reason was the optics of two Drake foes collaborating amid the UMG lawsuit. That is apparently what they officially said was the reason that Kendrick had to be left off of the record, was a lyric about Trump. But as Pusha says, it's likely between the lawsuit going on in the background, and they didn't want to have him and Kendrick on the same verse, both of which going against Drake. I guess that's the situation now. Now, when it comes to new snippets about the record, we also have a new snippet with Nas. Now, here's a listen to that.
Stop breathing, the death I see looks so good on you. The coffin wood on you. Closed casket, cause I'm only sick your wounds on you. Berlin at a horsepower, put them hooves on you. Blow a $500,000 LV, let the goods on you. We've been doing this for eons. While you thirsty trying to figure out who you can spill a tea on. I'm in coffee fields, making meals. Single-handedly boosted rap to its truest place. Fuck speaking candidly, I evolved and rejuvenate hip-hop into its newest place. Made it cool for Grammy-nominated LPs from previous generation MCs.
Now, this also sounds pretty good, and I mean, hearing Nas on Pharrell production with Pusha T and No Malice on there as well is obviously great to any fan of hip-hop. I mean, that's one of the best collabs you could see. Let's see how all of this plays out. Let's see how it all comes together on the final record. So far, what we're hearing, it sounds pretty good though. We can't lie, this is likely going to be one of the best records, as I said, that we get to hear this year, and that is still coming out this year. So as I said, mark your calendars, July 11th, Let God Sort 'Em Out. We don't know if we're getting another single until then. If we are, I'll of course keep you updated, and as soon as we learn anything more about this record, I'll keep you updated, so make sure you stay subscribed not to miss out on that. But until then, I want to know what y'all think about this. What do you think of the new snippets? The Kendrick snippet, the Nas snippet? What do you think of the whole beef between Push and Travis? What do you think was the real reason why you had to switch publishers for this record? And let me know if you're just as excited for this new record as me, because so far it's sounding really good. What do you think of the new single, So Be It? Let me know all your thoughts on this in the comments down below.
If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.